You are the mighty Odysseus who like to defy the gods, embark on a journey to return home. However, he has two problems. The first problem, he has to go through treacherous adventures with his men in order to survive. The second problem is a group of suitors is at his home eating up all his food, sitting comfortable on his couch and disrespecting his wife. What do Odysseus do? We will dive into the 2026 summer blockbuster movie where one man wants to go through hell and back to get home to teach those suitors a lesson, which I read this book since I was in high school in the movie The Odyssey.
I think it's asleep. And then what?
The movie starts off in Ithaca, where a man running his mouth about something that makes no sense. A kid sees a group of men who shot at him with a few arrows for no reason. It was an offering for the gods, and one dude tried to execute him for no reason again. What they don't know yet inside the Trojan horse is a surprise. Back to Ithaca, Penelope, who is Odysseus' wife, shows up wanting to entertain the suitors, but Spider-Man shows up believe that his dad Odysseus is not dead and you must have hope. Every suitor think he's dead, and Batman tells Spider-Man this.
Pining for a daddy you didn't even know, like some sniveling bastard.
Personally, Penelope is buying time hoping her husband will come back home someday. The next day, Spider-Man is getting trained but getting his butt whooped so bad that he's getting advice from a blind man. Also, this blind man taught his dad how to hunt and fight. The advice he told Odysseus is not about who's the strongest, nor the fastest, it's who the smartest. Spider-Man asks him what will his dad do if he see all those suitors in his house.
What would he do if he came back here and find all these suitors in his house?
The next scene, Penelope is buying time, making fools out of suitors by weaving and unweaving when Spider-Man asks her about life in Zeus.
That world is gone.
Odysseus told a story to his wife in the past about a guy sacrificing his daughter for a fair win, which is very disturbing. Odysseus made a bold statement that if he don't come back, she should marry someone else, plus he would not sacrifice his son. Penelope did not take that too kindly and says this.
Ithaca's king is coming back.
The next scene, Penelope asked Spider-Man to string his daddy bow, which of course he could not do it. Spider-Man desperately wants to take his daddy's place as king, but she tells him you are too weak and just a kid.
You are too weak!
The next scene in a dinner hall, the suitors pick on the old man about his dog and Spider-Man trying to defend him.
They're pining for a daddy.
But was body slammed by one of the suitors.
You cannot control.
Spider-Man get beat so badly that he decides to organize a crew of his own and a ship to look for his dad to fight his battles.
A son.
Odysseus minding his own business until Athena and Calypso shows up bothering him.
To control his fate.
All he want to do is go home, but Calypso want him to stay with her.
Help me go home.
She asks him if he can remember anything about the war.
Tell me what you remember.
Wife. A son. And then what?
We won the war.
Odysseus tells his story to Calypso from the beginning. He set sail on the seas with his men and everything is going great as they going home after war. They invade villagers, burning down people's houses for no reason. While they're doing all of that, Odysseus is thinking about his wife at home.
A wife?
Odysseus and his crew landed on an island where sheep just wandered around. They followed the sheep to the cave where someone been living there. I am pretty sure it's a trap, but they decide to stay. So they decide to trespass in someone's cave without a care in the world. Unfortunately for him, it was their biggest mistake because Cyclops shows up tearing them apart like a Happy Meal from McDonald's. Odysseus got a plan, but that failed miserably because Cyclops took out more of his men.
I think it's asleep.
So the best thing they did is to stab him right in the eye. Bullseye.
Bullseye!
The men are in perfect position to escape until Odysseus stupidly shot an arrow at Cyclops, which chased them into sea.
Not even the gods.
Cyclops is Poseidon's son, and they made a massive mistake. Meanwhile, Odysseus is still trying to remember to tell his story to Calypso. Spider-Man goes to Punisher's house to find info about his dad. Punisher tells him about the Trojan horse and using it to get inside. The plan worked, but it took a while because the people had to drag it inside and raise the horse. At night, Odysseus, Punisher, and his men made their move and took out a bunch of men, women, and children, which was distasteful. Long story short, Punisher still don't know where his dad located. In another scene, Poseidon is not happy about his son being roughed up, so he directs the crew into another island. Odysseus and his men sees a kid and he starts to act a fool and wanders off. That kid called for backup and these tall men was wiping it out like they were nothing. Odysseus and his men had to retreat because they was killing a lot of his men. Odysseus and his men were beaten so bad that Athena shows up telling them you are a disgrace.
Pathetic.
The men decided to do mutiny against Odysseus due to the fact he screwed up so badly. Can't blame him for that. The men decided to transfer on this lady house for some food. She sees them and invites them to their home. It looks like a trap because she told them to leave their gear outside. Plus she looks suspicious. Obviously, she set them up and turned them all to Porky Pig.
That's all, folks.
Odysseus decided to check it out and knows the woman is suspicious. He questioned her but not fall for her trap. She complains about her life story, which Odysseus does not care about and just wants his men turned back to normal and go home. She tells him a roadmap to the next location where the river of ice meets the river of fire. They must sacrifice a goat so he can talk to someone about getting him home. One dude rolls up for the ashes, tell Odysseus, I believe in you, but you set me up to die.
Who's looking after your wife and son?
Do you see?
The general is another person who rolls up for the ashes, explaining his case how he screwed up, sacrificed his daughter, which leads to his wife taking him out. He warns Odysseus, be careful when you get home, you will not get a warm welcome. And as a result, this happened. The next scene, Batman shows up and notices Penelope has been stalling with the weaving thing. Batman tells her this.
Ithaca's king is coming back.
No, he's not.
He makes his moves on her, but she's not falling for him.
I want you to choose me.
He also asks where is Spider-Man, which Penelope gave him an answer. However, one of the lady suitors snitched on her and told Batman that Spider-Man is really located in another location. The suitors decide to kick the old man out and send men to take out Spider-Man. Meanwhile, the Punisher tells Spider-Man that you left your mom at home with a group of suitors alone is a sign of a coward.
You are such a coward.
Odysseus decided to tie himself on a boat and tell his men to use wax to avoid the siren sound. No matter what the situation, do not untie him until they are clear away from the sound. One dude gets so stupid and decides to go into the water and go to the sound, and I'm pretty sure he's dead. Once that's done, they see a massive whirlpool, which they avoided, but a few more men get eaten up like a Happy Meal by a monster. The men start to lose faith in Odysseus because he was holding secrets, which is true. They landed on the island where they are saved, but the men could not eat the sun god's animal or they would die. The men made a promise, but that did not last long because Odysseus busted them like an idiot roasting some poor animal. The men decide to set sail again, and Poseidon is still mad about the sun thing and eating up the food. The sun god food decides to rip the port apart, and Odysseus drifts to shore while all his other men are dead. Calypso took care of Odysseus for 7 years, feeding him and giving him lotus plants for memory. Once he gained his memory, he created a raft and was washed ashore to home. He made it to the old man, who at that point don't recognize him. Old man tell him about the suitors, his son, and his dog, which means he has to get to his son first.
Bringing vengeance. Bringing it all.
Meanwhile, Spider-Man is looking for his dad but is ambushed by suitors which was saved by Odysseus. Spider-Man thanks the old beggar, but he doesn't know it's his dad. Spider-Man and Odysseus set up a plan to get all the suitors in the room and take him out for good. Spider-Man making it home to his mom, and Batman is shocked to see him still alive.
I need everyone at this party dead.
He tells his mom the plan, but she does not approve.
That world is gone.
Spider-Man realized it was his dad that he realized he had to bury the old man doll. So the next day in a dinner hall, Odysseus sees his wife but insulted and beaten by two suitors. That will be the downfall of both of them for beating up an old man. When Odysseus gave Batman a token, it set Batman off in a bad way and beats Odysseus for no reason. He goes and talks to his wife, which she don't know is him. He tells a story about Odysseus which make her cry. The wife prepared a challenge to all the suitors. If you can string the bow and shoot the arrow through 12 axes, you will marry her. Before that, all the Spider-Man trusted suitors must hide the weapons and bring the suitors into the room and trap them. The contest starts and no one comes close to stringing it. Even Batman was too chicken to string it. How can you do all that trash talking but you don't want to string the bow, you coward? So the old beggar stringed the bow and shot the arrow, which all the suitors realized it was Odysseus, and he started to take everyone out, including Batman, who he saved last, and sent him to hell.
Goodbye, Batman.
Odysseus finally sees his wife and the movie ends. The Odyssey is just the way I remember when I was reading the book back in high school. There were some parts was missing, but you can't put so much in a 3-hour movie. The movie was really good. Star-studded cast put out excellent performance all around. The storytelling and the visuals were amazing. The fight scenes was great and the villains were spot on. The one thing you never do is to go into a man's house, eat his food, relax like you pay the bills, and show no respect to his wife. That is a major cardinal sin, and they paid the price for that. A masterpiece of a movie deserves 9.5 stars because it was that good of a movie, and we'll see you in the next movie review.